Doodlebud here, checking out this new notebook I got from Endless. Go to madebyendless.com for details. This is their new Observer notebook. Now, this contains what they call here their ink-loving regalia paper. I absolutely love the paper. It was recently introduced when a month or maybe two ago, they sent me their Explore leather notebook here with these nice little refills that you can have. This is called their storyboard refill. This is my first exposure to this paper, and I got to tell you, it has rapidly become one of my favorites. They also sent me this creative block. If you want full testing on this paper in comparison, see my other video. I'll put a link down there in the description. But I found that this regalia paper just takes things to a whole other level that your standard Rhodia or Clairefontaines don't do. So I was pretty excited to get a crack at some more of the regalia paper, and this time it's in this notebook, which is more affordable than this leather one. So let's have a look at what we got, show you the details. Comes in this protective paper kind of cardboard cover here, and they on the back here, just to give you some ideas, it's got the iconic regalia paper, they say, which is 80 GSM acid free. You can see all the details. This comes with a dotted page layout. You have 187 pages of the regalia paper that are numbered. There's a table of contents and all that stuff as well. And here is their details for Instagram, Facebook, and also their website. So those are the details here. Like I said, comes with this little cover, more for like archival purposes. So you just slip it out, pop it back in. Works pretty easy to do. You just pop it in, put it out. So I took this on a trip with me, went to Vancouver Island around just after Christmas, went there for New Year's, spent some time with in-laws and whatnot. And so I was using this thing nonstop, and I was listening to some audio, kind of getting ready for the new year to record some of my thoughts. This was getting stored in the car door, getting tossed around. The kids would get their hands on it. It has held up quite nicely. And so, yeah, a little archival, I guess, protective case for the book, which seems to be kind of consistent with their other stuff. When I got the Explorer setup that has the leather case, it also came in a box like this. And this was meant for sort of archival purposes, so you could keep all those refills in there. So cool little thing there, you're taking time to write something down, a way to protect it. One little thing I would mention is if you are going to do that, so let's say you keep these on a shelf and they're stacked or, standing up, if you're going to sort of have that archival thing, maybe have a space somewhere or a little more organization, so maybe you could write the date or a topic or something along those lines instead of having to pop it open and check it out. Now, as far as pop it open, slides out, it is very basic and very plain. On the back here, here we go, I had it upside down. It has the Endless logo on there. It's embossed into the protective cover. But that's it. It's bound here on the side, not wire bound. It's got that spine there. But one nice benefit is it does lay flat. Now that is one of the pet peeves I have with books when they don't lay flat, because it makes it challenging to work with. I have this nice Clairefontaine book, but that is one of the things that, it doesn't lay flat. So whenever you're doing stuff, you are kind of battling it, wanting to close on you. The instant I got this book, you just simply open it anywhere, it lays flat, and you don't have any problems. So I've been using this for a good week here or so, and what I'm going to be using this book for is really sort of my 2023 sort of goals and personal development. So I've been listening to some audios and different things, and I'm just jotting down little nuggets, little tidbits as I go through and work on, my goals for the year. And this is just a way to record all that and keep your mind focused on things. So that's what the goal of this book is going to be for this year and how I'm going to use it. But I thought, the cover could use something. Now, being fair, one of my kind of favorite papers I use all the time is Muji. If we look here on both their books, well, it's the exact same sort of thing. The only thing Muji has on theirs is a little sticker with the name and a barcode, and that's it. So it doesn't bother me there, and it really shouldn't bother me here. But for whatever reason, it feels like there should be something. Maybe because it comes in this nice cover with a design. Maybe they carried it over or just have a little something more flashy on there. But I guess they're leaving it up to you to do something. I thought, well, I just happen to have a laser engraver, so let me put something on here. So while the laser does its thing, I figured now's a great time to introduce today's sponsor, which is Skillshare. Now, when I type in engineering, I'm a super engineer nerd, the sheer content, the breadth and the depth that is on here. Now, again, engineering might not be your thing, but maybe improving the audio for a YouTube channel like I want to do could be your thing. I'm going to add those to my class list. and get cracking on those, along with one by Tim Ung. He's an architect and shows how he approaches the design of this cool lamp with a laser cutter. So I have some product and project ideas that I want to do related to fountain pens, but this is all new to me. You know, I'm learning Fusion 360 to design my 3D printed fountain pen. I got to learn how to use this laser cutter. And so if you're like me and you want to get your 2023 goals off to a jump start, Skillshare is great. They have an offer for this year for the month of January. You get your first 7 days free, of course, but 20% off your first year as well. And if you have some things you want to check off, you know, one thing I always tell people is don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. And to get better, you got to learn some skills and take advantage of it as well. So check the link for the description for the month of January. Let's see the quote I put on the back here because it's sort of relevant as well. So let's see how the engraving turned out. I also did it on the back of the book as well. Now, anytime you work with a new material, you got to test. I don't have any of this material. All the paper's different, so I tried the same settings on cardboard. The cardboard looked a little better, but I just downloaded this online, just a little DXF file. I don't know why the tree. I don't know. I just put it there. It looks pretty, I guess. But I did put a quote in the back as I'm using this book here to grab little tidbits, little nuggets to help guide me through the year to stay on track and to help me progress and move forward. I thought this would be a good quote to remind me of that as well. And then I had a little fun on the front. Kids have been love watching the Swedish Chef there. They just recently discovered the Muppets. And you got to have them on there, right? So, and popped on the Doodlebud logo. But back to the overall book. Like I said, I've been happy with it. You do get a little wear and tear, so let's get you in close here at some of these edges. You know, if you bonk it and stuff, they'll get, I guess, a little bit frayed. I don't think this would come apart, but just the edges might get a little rounded or bumped a little bit as well. But overall, the construction, I'm pretty happy with. One little thing here, the focus. So how it's bound is, you know, you got your main thicker cover, and they have just some sort of generic paper. And then it goes on to the regalia here when you have your table of contents. So this stuff is cool, but this they should have maybe put this further in because this I'm not going to bother trying, but I'm 99% sure this is going to bleed through. This is not a top tier paper. You got to turn in a little bit as well. So maybe they could do that. Is put whatever you want to put in here, title, name, you found, return to, in a better quality paper. Same thing on the very back. I mean, you're not probably going to write on this page anyways. It's sort of useless, and then you're already into the regalia. But yeah, happy with that. Also, the hardcover. I do like that. So it doesn't flex or bend now. You know, I mean, it really does, but it's pretty stiff and firm. You can see it's got some good thickness to it. Now, how I was using this, I can show you my terrible writing, but this thing was like on my lap when I was in the car. You know, I'm not trying to pull off fancy writing here. I'm listening to audio, jotting something down, going back. The kids are running around. So I don't have exactly an ideal writing surface. I'm crammed in a car and kids climbing over me. I was very thankful that this was a nice hard surface. So this was sort of acting like my table. If I had, say, my Muja book, which is very flexible, that would not be too fun. My Rhodia book, you know, tough to get a surface. So you're like this and you're trying to write and it's curving and bending. I didn't have any of those issues. So this is, I really like this for, you know, out and about, non-ideal writing conditions. You got a hard surface to work with, so that's a big plus. I figured I'd have a quick little chat on price and also just kind of mention something as well with reviews. But here's a very common alternative that, you know, almost everybody has this. You got a Rhodia dot pad, whether you like lined or dots or blank, whatever it is. But this is the 6.3 by 8.3 size. They're pretty close in size. Page count, this is 160 pages. This is a little bit more, 187, both 80 GSM, all that good stuff. This is manufactured much more. So the cost on producing this is much lower versus the regalia. It's kind of like their own type of paper. So right away, the costs are going to be higher if you're not manufacturing as much of it. It's, again, I don't know if it's on the same level as Tomo River. I've never used it, but like a Tomo River book is much more expensive. So you are getting a much different paper. So just comparing the price just on price only, and you can go, well, I can get a book similar size cheaper. Yet, of course you can. You can go to the dollar store and get one even cheaper. But this is a very different experience as well. So, you know, $18 US versus $9 Canadian. Yes, it does cost more. it is kind of tricky to compare them because they are quite different as well. It's a very unique paper. And, like I've mentioned recently, I really enjoy this stuff as well. Another thing I'll just comment, while I don't get too much into price, also for things I get sent to review, I got this for free. So it's tough for me to say to you, is this book worth it? Is it worth $18 versus this one versus $9? Same thing could be true for a pen. I got sent this one to review by Enso. I think it's a fantastic pen. It looks beautiful. It performs great. I know if you saw the review on this one, I said the tines are a touch tight. I gave it a few more days. I actually didn't even have to adjust it. It writes beautifully. I've been journaling with this in here. But I didn't part with my own money in exchange for this pen. And same thing for the book. So for me to tell you, is it worth it? I really can't really chime in because I didn't go through that experience of sending someone, whether it's $18 or a few $100s, and then I get something in return. And then when you get one of those things, when you buy something, here's one, I got this for $20. Hell yes, this was worth $20. Because I parted the money. I can comment on that. But when I'm sent something to review, go to the website, give it a look, and then it's got to be up to you to decide, is it worth it? I can mention the price. I can say I think it's built well, comment on construction, but that emotional experience you have of sending someone some money, getting something in return, whether it's fountain pen related or not, if I haven't gone through that same experience, it's kind of strange for me to comment on, is it worth it? So thanks for watching, and thank you to Endless for sending me their new Observer notebook to review. Hope they don't mind having some fun playing around on here, but I did sort of keep it serious to have a quote for me to keep in mind when I don't feel like doing some certain work or taking advantage of something, or it looks too hard while someone else is going to do it and the opportunity will pass me by. And so if you feel maybe 2023 needs to be a breakout year for you and you have a few things you want to accomplish, but you got to kind of level up a little bit, check out in the description the offer they have from Skillshare. It's helped me. I've learned a bunch of stuff. I've been so grateful they reached out to me. So I've been playing with, some design stuff, whether it's here with the laser etcher, laser engraver and cutter, or, doing the 3D printed fountain pen. That's still in the queue. I'm just getting more stuff stacked on my plate, so it's tough to get through it, but I have more progressed I've done on that. And it's helped me learn the skill set I need, and also doing these videos has sort of helped me stay accountable to show some progress and actually put work into it. So maybe that will be something that helps for you, but we'll leave it there for now. I got all sorts of reviews coming up, and as always, vert the furk.